Sun is coming up. Um, well, the sun has been up for about an hour or two, and it's nearly time for me to scoot off again. Oh, hello. So, yesterday it was another very hot day. I'm back having a problem with my right foot, second last toe. It keeps having like little blisters. Is there any good news? Oh, yeah, there is, of course. Is there any bad news? Oh, there might be. Let me get to what was happening. So I slept in the field yesterday, which was fine. It was good. Near the campsite because I didn't want to be in the campsite. I was listening to the trains, watched a hare chase a cat and a cat chase a hare. It was pretty good. Um, I set off, went to the closest rewe, which was about 45 minutes, an hour away. Um, had coffee there, and then it starts like the sleeping out is always the same thing, like where are you going to go to the toilet and where's the water going to come from and do I have enough electricity to to get through the day and navigate and find my next place. Now I knew I was heading for Saligenstad, which wasn't very far. um, it was on the map as the crow flies, about maybe about 10, 12 kilometers, and I walked about 15. It was hot. It was very hot. And my hosts, they weren't going to be there until about 3 or 4, 4 or 5. So I had lots of time. So I stopped, had a good look at my feet, cut away all the excess. Like what is happening is that it shaves on one side and then it creates a blister there and it pushes it somehow keeps pushing down the new skin. So I had like this really hard ridge, so I cut it all off and then put some cream on it and put the whole back together again, and it was more comfortable to walk. Of course, the usual encounters, people asking me where I'm going. No, it's okay. Oh, hello. Hello, hello. No, I've got nothing for you. Saligenstad, really, really lovely. Cloister, very, 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 very nice. Very, very, very beautiful. Very Baroque. Whereas the old stuff is more interesting for me, but very beautiful. This, yeah, I had some beer, which was also quite good, and I still had sandwiches left over from Frankfurt. So, oh, potato bread. Potato bread in Germany is amazing because it just keeps forever. Yeah, and I've been in my head a little bit. I'm in my head a lot. And I don't really want to talk to anybody. I'm actually kind of happy the way I am. It's nice walking. It's nice walking along the mine. It's nice to know that if I keep following this river, eventually I get to the canal, and I'm really strongly considering again to just keep following the river rather than trying to cut off enormous bits and go through the mountains. I like being in the riverbed. It suits me. So that's been in my head all day yesterday, looking out over the water and seeing those ships come by. I know the Rhine is really low. They're going to get a little bit of a wave, and some of the boats will be able to come through. But the mine is full of water because it's got all the locks, and it just feels really lush. Like all the trees are feeling lush. There is greenery, and although the grass is really, 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 really yellow, it feels really lovely walking here. So I might still just follow the river. Now, I'd sent out some messages to different abbeys and stuff to see can I stay there. One abbey came back, Engelberg came back to me straight away saying like there is only two of us here. We're about 80 years old. I don't think it's appropriate. Fair enough. Two Franciscan brothers. They don't know how to help me. It's really strange because, of course, I'm not always. I have so many questions, and I like visiting all the religious communities because they're all so different, and it always amazes me when it's about the the shape of things and not about what we actually do. It just confuses me, and I've had like an amazing week with a Kirchgemeinde, which is a Protestant, with the elders of the Protestant church, and there everything was so easy, like it was so easy, and I was made to feel so welcome. So I was a little bit in my head about that, and I haven't heard from the it's another Franciscan and Bethanian order, men and women, I believe they work together. I've sent them a message, which is for today, and I've also sent a message to the Kirchgemeinde here in Seligenstadt. Now, Seligenstadt didn't get back to me, but I kind of understand because they were only coming back from holiday 2 days ago on Monday. But they also didn't send me a message at all. Now for tonight, I've decided I know they have like a mass at 9 and a mass at 10, so I'm going to call them at 11 and just find out if they have space for me. Because I would actually really like to spend some time in a Catholic community as well. And I like the Franciscans and the Bethanians. I don't know that much about. So now, lucky me, of course, I have put out messages on couch surfing for Hanau, and that didn't work out. There was one girl, she was at a festival, and the other lady, she just didn't get back to me. So she was busy, which was fine. I was in the field, and yesterday for Seligenstadt, because of the I wasn't sure if the church community would get back to me. I put out a message on Couchsurfing, and I got a lovely message from Tuna and Barbaros, and they said, of course I could come, lovely to meet, and they would love to see the harp. And I arrive here, and there's two young Turkish gentlemen. One works for what is it, like a food distribution, like sales. The guys I used to deal with in the sales rep for the wholesalers, and the other one is a photojournalist, a photographer. The house is full of photographs of Berlin, actually, and really interesting stuff. He's only starting his career, and there's some really lovely photographs in there. Of course, there's always, I have a daughter who studies art curation. Here we go, like, oh yeah, as if I know anything. Like, I don't know anything. But I thought that, with a little bit of editing, there could be a really lovely exhibition in there. So Barbaros had to go to Frankfurt yesterday evening, and it was Tuna and myself. And I learned that Tuna means Danube in Turkish. There you go. And I said, like, oh great, I can practice some of my Turkish. Did we? No, we didn't. We just spoke English the whole time, like, and it was lovely to be speaking English because my German is getting better. I've learned loads of new words like Demut, humility, and böse is actually not angry, but evil, like bad. Whereas, what is it? Geärgert? Verärgern? Something like that. I can use that in those shapes, and that means actually being angry. So I'm learning about the nuances between the Dutch words, what they mean, and the German words, and it's been really good. Like, irre, interesting. It's the same expression as interesting, or isn't that something? I thought it struck me that So I've been learning lots of things. So all of this is in my head, and I was looking forward to meeting those two young men. And I arrived in Seligenstadt, and it is just again, it is just beautiful. There's some lovely, lovely old houses here again with the wooden structures and the mud infills, stone infills. It's a very touristy town. Joe had told me that one of the daughters of Charlemagne had gone here, and that's why initially the abbey became so big, because she and her lover. There's a lovely story of how he visited her at night at the court, and that it had snowed in the morning, so he couldn't just disappear in the morning, and that she carries him on her back through the courtyard so that there only will be one set of footsteps. But then somebody sees them. So they get caught and they run away and they end up in Seligenstadt, and they end up creating the community to work for the community, and hence the abbey as well. The abbey structure is really, really big. It has a mill, it has like the cloister itself, and nowadays it has like different shops and different. It's still and it has a stunning herb garden, stunning herb garden. Really, really, really beautiful. So I walked around all of it, but it was just so hot and I was really tired. And then I got a message saying that the boys were at home, so I went home. Now, Tuna gets up really early in the morning normally, and then straight away sets off to work. So they were saying like, no, I could stay for as long as I wanted, and Barbarossa was heading off to Frankfurt. He made me dinner. We had fish and potatoes with tomatoes, like really, really cute. And then we had music here at the end of the evening, and we had like the neighbors were listening in, and there was like a round of applause through the courtyard. It was really lovely. So this morning, Barbarossa, he had to go really early again because he's starting a new project, I think, in Frankfurt. So he headed off straight away, and Tuna wasn't feeling too well. Like last night, we were sitting here, and the light was on in the inside, and they had like what are they called? Like the really big wasps. Um, oh, it was in my head there a second ago. They're the really, 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 really big wasps, and they were like coming at the light, and they were making an awful lot of noise, and they were just sitting there. And I thought, and I was sleeping in the living room, and I was thinking, I'm not sleeping with three of those in the room, like forget it. So I got the Harper cover and I scooped one up and I brought it outside, and the second one I couldn't see him anymore where he was. There wasn't enough light, and he stung me in my thigh. Like he got me. Now, and I was worried because last week when I was in Frankfurt, something had stung me. I think it was a spider, and like the whole time on my arm, like it stung me here, and the whole thing was really red and itchy for a whole week. Like it was not a nice feeling. And in the field, of course, I got stung by little midges, which are also, you feel them for about 2 or 3 days. So I'm thinking, oh, here we go again. I have more stuff stinging me. Well, but we got them all out. We closed the doors, and I've been so warm, like so. I've been sweating, like even when I just sit down, I sweat, like I'm dripping with sweat. So I have to make sure that I have enough water with me. I still have my water bottles to fill. Yeah, so yeah, Tuna just left, and they probably have an address for me in Hungary as well, and he comes from Izmir. So if I end up heading the South Road, which some people say isn't possible, I've heard before that it isn't possible, uh, but they're saying that it is possible. I don't know. I don't know how long Turkey is going to take me. Anyway, they cheered me up to no avail. They were so welcoming, and they just left, and I've just made my little lunch pack for today with cheese and a tomato, and I found peanut butter. Yay! Peanut butter is great for pilgrims. Bit of protein. And I'll be heading out now soon because it's going to be another hot day, and I have another 20 kilometers to go. I saw the brothers who run the Franciscan friary in Aschaffenburg. Aschaffenburg, I think, is the next place. Aschaffenburg, yeah. And I'm going to call them at 11 to see do they have a place for me. If not, then I'll send out more couch surfing requests. There wasn't a very active couch surfing community in Aschaffenburg, but I can try. I'm delighted I ended up here. It's been so nice. It was really, really special being here. And Tuna is one of those young men, like, just the story, he really wanted to be a policeman, and he finished his police academy in Turkey, and then because of the way things are in Turkey, some people are accepted within the force and some people are not, and probably because some of his teachers or the way the teaching structure was laid out, they were not allowed to become policemen. So he'd spend like a lot of time studying and getting ready for this, and then he can't work in it. And his mother had said, why don't you go abroad? Why don't you go abroad to another country, and that is like, then your house will have another window. I mean, so this idea of that if you go and spend time in another culture, that you get different outlooks on life, and that this is enriching, and that's exactly how I feel about it. So I'm already in love with his mom, and I would love to meet her, to be honest. I would love to meet her. So yeah, they opened up their home to me. I'm here now getting ready to go while everybody has gone to work. And yeah, I'm gonna have my coffee and then I'm gonna go set off. Aschaffenburg. Now, so the bad news is, of course, I don't have a bed yet. The good news is I'm feeling really good. What happens is when I don't walk, and I'm a funny fecker, yeah. What is wrong with me is that I'm just a funny person. I like being on my own. I really do. And I have a thing about freedom. One of my perceptions about freedom is that when I make a decision, I want to make it all on my own. And I'm kind of, although it looks very often that I just talk away and I tell everything that's going on in my life, I'm actually really private. So if people ask me direct questions about this, that, and the other, about myself, I don't like answering, because I want to give the information only the way I want to give it. So I want to set the tone and the pace. And I really, when I'm not walking and I'm static, then I don't have enough space to work out in my head what is important for me at that moment in time. So when then people ask me questions, my perception of it is that it's invasive. I don't like it. I like leading a conversation, because then I'm the one who sets who sets what is being said and what isn't. I feel more in control. And as I was in Frankfurt, I was starting to feel like I was in a safe space, and I was very, very happy there. But some of the questions from people who weren't there, I was starting to feel as being really invasive, and I really didn't want to answer anymore, and I was getting really defensive about it. And what I don't like is that I want to be open. I actually want to be able to freely speak my mind, because I think it's important. I think it's a good way to be. But then when I get defensive, I kind of shut down. So that's when I stop doing updates. It's when I stop talking. It's when I'm get into my head and I don't want to participate anymore. This has been a theme in my entire life, so I don't think I'm going to solve this in any way, soon, shape, form, soonish. But it's been good to be aware of it and to see it, happen. Like, I was sitting there watching myself going like, why are you so upset? Like, why are you so the whole time? And I was going around in my head, going over conversations and over other conversations and reading stuff into things that there was nothing to read into. And it's not a nice feeling. That's all I'll say. Like, it's not nice to feel like that. And I didn't tell you about my hair. I'm sure some of you've noticed my hair is very short. So the day before I arrived in Frankfurt, in Rüsselsheim, I'd washed my hair. I got the opportunity to take a shower at Herman's. I washed my hair, and I didn't plait it straight after I came out of the shower, and of course the ends were pretty dead. So I get up in the morning and I had like this big knot in the back of my head, and it was serious. Like, in Frankfurt we brushed it for about 3 hours and we couldn't get it out, and we did all kinds of stuff, and so we ended up cutting out some of the hair. So I'm a little bit like, I don't like cutting my hair. The last time I cut my hair was after my father died, and I just cut off the length of it and kept it just about long enough so I could put it up. And I said to myself I was not going to go to a hairdresser again. So I don't know how I feel about that being so short, but what I have promised myself is that I will keep the ends oiled now, because of course in the sun there's a lot of damage that is done, and I don't really often wash my hair just to get the sweat out, and you can do that just rinsing the hair as well. But because I'm outside all the time, I have good hair. I'm very lucky. The hair is pretty, it's willing to grow. So my plaits are a bit shorter. I'm going to keep the plaits because they're really handy for walking. I think I'm really done. So today, Aschaffenburg, along the Main again. I'm heading for the Franciscaner Bethanian cloister. It's a community. I hope that they are willing to put me up. I assume that if they do, I will have to be there before 5 or 6, so I better set off and start making my way. Now the boys have also said, listen to me, the boys were also saying to me that if I am stuck, then Tuna always after work goes for a sleep, and then he gets up again. And that's what we did yesterday evening as well. I actually had a nap, and I can't tell you how tired I felt after the sunshine. It was, I don't realize what I'm doing to myself sometimes. I think, like, I think I'm a bit of a, what that is concerned, I'm like a little bit like an ox. I was thinking about that yesterday as well, how my dad always used to say, you're as strong as an ox. Like, you're just really strong. You keep going. So maybe I should take into account that it's not a bad idea to just rest from time to time. It's okay to rest. And that after I'm done walking, I could go for a rest for an hour or two. All I have to do now is pull the door behind me. I look forward to talking to you tomorrow in Aschaffenburg. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for being the wind underneath my wings. I always feel uplifted when I do those updates, and it always makes me a little bit emotional because another day has been done. Oh, and I read an interesting article today as well There is a Chinese person behind me walking through the Netherlands at this moment in time, walking from Santiago de Compostela to China with a horse. Big scallop shell on the chest. I love it. Go check it out. Thank you to the boys for hosting me. Thank you to the young men for hosting me. It's been an absolute honor. I might be here again tonight. And if not, then hopefully we'll meet up again sometime soon in the future. Thank you for all the people who've been giving me love in Frankfurt. I haven't spoken about Frankfurt yet. I will though. I will. I'll tell the stories of Frankfurt when I'm good and ready, when I've worked it out in my head. And yeah, mine, here I come. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful day.